It has been a while since I've played Sega GT Online, or Sega GT in general. Because Sega GT Online is basically Sega GT 2002. Yeah, but they expanded it because Sega GT 2002 was also like part of a double pack with Jet Set Radio Future at the time. And also, like, there weren't that many cars available. Well, there weren't that many cars on that game as there are available on here. Like, this one has more cars available. This is what I'm saying. I've only played this for 52 days. Oh, right. I remember what I did. Like, I just started new games just trying to see if I could re-earn my cars. To see if I could re-earn the cars I had before. And let's see. I think if you I believe if you like played the other modes, like you can unlock the cars to be available in like the actual campaign mode. I haven't played in a very long time. Gymkhana, technical test, time survival. I don't really have a reason to use manual transmission. I haven't. Oh my god, I've not played this in a long time because I'm so used to the okay. Can I retry? I'm trying to remember my buttons. So this is before racing games made the change to use the triggers as to basically to essentially accelerate and brake. Only 9 seconds. I'm already playing like one of the harder tracks of the game. There's no way I'm gonna make this. Because I am not used to this car. I think I like Sega GT over this because yeah, I need to get like... You failed! Oh, I'm just revisiting this game. So, I believe I like GT 2002 over games like Gran Turismo. No, I like Gran Turismo, but I like this over Gran Turismo and other simulation racing games because this one had a balance. This one had more of a balance between arcade and like simulation. Oh my god, I gotta hit. Yeah. I gotta hit at least 5 checkpoints. Actually, that was my previous record. I'm nowhere near as good as I was. How long has it been? 15 years? I'm not gonna make it. Because it's right there. And they don't let you like coast to the checkpoint. No. I've forgotten how to drive on this game. But Chronicle Battle will unlock like real classic, like the seriously classic cars. because you just basically pick a car and then you upgrade it through each race. I hope none of this music is copyrighted. I can't believe I have to say that like in almost every video I record nowadays. The Europa Special. There are 6 stages in all. First place finish is earned 5 points. Second place earns 3 points. Third place earns 2. After killing each stage, points can be used to improve one part of a vehicle. The Air Pollution Prevention Act. Wow, we get history. To rethink the design of their cars to make more fuel efficient. The oil crisis. Oh, the oil crisis. Oh man, like we're getting history lessons on cars, which is neat. And this is also the because this is the 1970s. We're like the race is in black and white or sepia. At least I don't have to worry about damage to my car. But I do need to worry about getting around these people. Around these brick walls. You know, I might have done this race before. Hey! What the? Oh my god, I can't. Oh boy. You know, I can't mess with the BGM. So if this gets copyrighted, oh well, I guess. Because this is louder than the roar of the engine. Oh, that hurt. I took that turn better. Bye. Better. I also like this over Gran Turismo because what I remember in Gran Turismo was like I was racing for like well over I was doing like 50 to 100 laps on certain tracks. Oh, like, oh my god, this must be what it truly feels like to be in a race car. Like to be an actual NASCAR driver. So like, I forgot what they call that feeling when you get tired while you're driving for long periods of time. There's an actual term for it. That's gonna hurt me. No! You will not pass me! I refuse to let you pass me. But I am gonna hit this brake here. I can't afford to mess up. Because if I mess up, he is going to go flying straight past me. I do remember that in the main game, well, the campaign, like you actually, like there's I only really have like one competition in terms of cars, and I believe it's like I believe it's called the Capista, because I believe I have the GT 2000. I have 5 points. We're not gonna watch a replay. Oh, wait, can I like, yeah, exit the replay. Why would I want to watch the replay? Oh yeah, it unlocks it, like when you clear stuff, you unlock a new car. So I did the Europa already. I need to do the other cars to have those unlocked. So I need my suspension. Oh, I can only buy one at a time. Basic and high performance. These two are the descriptions, are the keywords to describe the car market of Europe in the 1980s. I would love to read. I need to like take time to read this. It's such a different feeling when you're coming back to games at a much older age, at least for me. Because before I just only care, like, you know what, I just want to race. I don't care for like what things are. No, I don't have the GT 2002 on this one. I have the Esprit, because they actually made it, because in the original game. In the original game, this was like 200k, which was pretty easy to acquire. And once you had this car, there wasn't much competition afterwards. I can buy it. There wasn't too much competition available afterwards. But now they made this car harder to get, because this is a full game, and if you had that car early on, I remember I had the Camaro. The Camaro was my the Camaro was essentially my off-road car, I believe. The Venmac, the Suzuki, the Bugatti, So many car brands I do not recognize. Yeah, this is the thing that usually will defeat you if you have the GT 2002. You have the Ford GT. This is the car that you'll see and just be like, holy crap, this guy's faster than me? Impossible! I want to get this, because this just looks interesting. This just honestly looks interesting to have. Bugatti. I think I have some of these cars, because some of these are like you have to unlock it via a specific race. Yeah, that's my car. Oh, that's it. I just wanted to show this game off real quick, because I haven't played this in ages. And this was something I'd love to play that wasn't like Gran Turismo. Because at the time I had this game, I was living with my cousins and my aunt because of reasons. And oh my god, it was kind of a horrible time. Kind of a shitty time. To be perfectly honest, because that, like, staying there for what pretty much is the equivalent of a year. It was like a prison. It was honestly like a prison because I couldn't go anywhere. Like, there was no, like, and that's kind of something I dislike about living in Georgia in general, is like every place that you would want to go to versus living in Colorado Springs, every place you want to go to, you have to drive to. That's one thing. And then the other thing is, like, nobody wants to, like, nobody out here really wants to, like, take you driving. Like, take you somewhere, like, oh, well, you want to go to the store, and then nobody like, there's nobody available to take you to the store. Nobody wants to. So, oh, I can't afford that. I have no money right now. I need to earn some. So it was like staying there with my aunt and my cousins. It was like there was like five of us, not counting my aunt and uncle. And basically they would be at work. I was essentially forced to go to the school that I'm not supposed to go to. But my aunt was like, oh, well, you're going to this school because it's easier to register you here and they won't give me lip about where you live, about where we live and stuff. And I'm like, why don't we just go, like, why don't we just try? And then it was, I'm doing an event race. I'm talking, like, it's so hard to balance talking and gameplay. I can't enter because I'm not driving an American car. Can't enter that because I'm not driving a vintage car. I can do this one. This one I can pay. I don't have to pay too much attention to. But it was basically like I would like, there was only one TV. And essentially, you would fight over that TV. Well, the TV with cable anyway. All the, like, you had the other TVs, but it was just like, oh, well, you're using an antenna, and there's essentially nothing on an antenna. Especially when you don't have an antenna. But it was just bad because you didn't really get to, well, there was nowhere to go, and I didn't like sports. Like, I didn't like sports, and I still don't. So I was essentially just like, okay, I'm bored at the house, and all I have is a couple of PlayStation games and GameCube games that I brought with me. Which normally I would just go to the game store and buy like a new game or trade in some games. But that wasn't available because that was an hour drive out from where I lived. Or at least that's how my aunt made it seem, because there was like shorter ways to get to the store, but she would always take the long way. So imagine sitting in the car for like forever, and then you finally end up at like Best Buy or something, like an hour to an hour and a half later. I was like, I can't go shopping. It's like, I have money, but I can't go shopping. Oh yeah, this is a neat thing. You can take pictures of your cars. Like, take pictures of your car during the race. So yeah, now I can change the BGM. And I believe I do have... Oh, yeah, I do. I can't play those songs anymore. None of these. Please stop. How many dang songs do I... Like, holy crap, I have a lot of songs. But yeah, it was like, so I stayed there for months just being completely bored in a lot of cases. Because one of my cousins who I had to share a room with, like he was essentially doing drugs. Like he would do drugs, so whenever he like bought some, he would just lock the door. Like he would lock the door and just be like, "Oh well, I'm just gonna light up a couple." And he would be in that locked room for like well over 3 hours. And then there was like my sister and my other two cousins. It was essentially like, okay, you're either gonna like try and be first to get the TV, which usually you don't. Oh yeah, the tracks change like every time you do a race. But I also need to like check my car just in case. Because if I don't, I have, because when the Microsoft Speed Cup, the Sega drag racing. Oh yeah, you could actually buy nitrous Battle of the 80s. Then you have the supercar. Then you have the road race, the Wyoming road race. Whoa, I mispronounced that. Road race. So yeah, this was fun. So yeah, it was honestly like really bad because it was like there was nowhere to go, and like you didn't really want to walk out. You didn't really want to like take a walk, like especially beyond the neighborhood, because you have no idea like who might jump you. Because like we were like right outside the area of a bad neighborhood. We were like right outside a bad neighborhood area. So like basically where I lived, like basically where I was at that time, that's a place where you want to make sure like all your doors are locked and you have a security system. Because you never know, like you could actually be like, your car could just be ransacked or just be stolen. Like your car could literally be gone overnight and you would never know. But yeah, like it was honestly a total prison, because like at night, essentially at night, it was my aunt would turn on the security system, and hers was like motion detected. So if you wanted to go upstairs and get a drink of water, or you just needed to use the other bathroom because the first one was occupied, you could not go upstairs. You couldn't go to the garage and be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go walk outside, because the alarm would go off. So yeah, like it was essentially prison, like nowhere to go. Again, and I'm stressing nowhere to go. Cause I'm like, hey, could I go to the store and go buy a game? And then like she would just take me to Best Buy, and I'm like, Best Buy? I would rather take. I'm sitting there like, I would rather take GameStop or the other game and trade stores than Best Buy. No offense to Best Buy. But in terms of selection for games, let's put it this way: for a main chain store that has like an electronics section or a game section, your choices are limited to like what's out at the time, like what's been released at the time. So if you're looking for a game that you could, if you're looking for a specific game that you know that you'll find like at a game and trade store, like you'll have a better chance looking there or looking online, you're not going to get it there. So I was bored out of my mind, and I was forced to buy certain games that I just did not like. And oh my god, I did start. Oh my god, I'm back here. Dang. Last I remember, I was at the A rank license, and I couldn't beat the A rank. Oh well. So it was just honestly, it felt like a total prison just being there for me. And I was like, you should do sports. I'm like, I hate sports. Did I not? Because that BGM is loud. I do like these songs though. So essentially this was one of the games, because my dad got me an Xbox for my birthday that at that point in time. That was the other thing, was like, because my parents were like recently, was like pretty much divorced at that time. And while it would have been more logical to go like, hey, our kids, like, hey, me and my sister should go stay with our dad, we weren't allowed to. We're like, no, you're staying with your aunt. God dang it! I took damage. Retry. That's the bad thing about having a faster car, is that you have to wait for these guys to move, and it's like, if you don't want to take damage, and these guys refuse to move. Like, y'all need to move. Just, yeah. See, that's much better. Oh yeah, this is that track. It's gonna have that little. It's gonna have this little bit here that if I do not take correctly, I'm gonna like slam straight into a wall. Anyway, the point of that story was like, I basically had this game, Jet Set Radio. I ended up buying .hack, which Brian was like, you should be spending that money on something else, not video games. And she also said some things that some things that in terms of story I would rather not repeat in terms of YouTube, because YouTube would probably be like, hey, you're talking about things that go against our terms of service. We're gonna have to give you a copyright strike for that. So I can't talk about that. I could probably like write that in a blog somewhere about that story and be like, oh, dang it. And be like, hey, like, yeah, this is what happened. But yeah, I basically had a couple of PlayStation games with me. I didn't really have internet access because this was still in the age of, like, they were still using dial-up. Like, they were still on dial-up, which pretty much was the main source. And while we did have money to go like broadband, it was still like, no, you're still on dial-up. Like, you only really need to use the computer to like go dig up information. Which even then you couldn't go like we couldn't use the internet really, because my uncle would come downstairs and be like, get off the internet. Like, get off the internet. I'm using the phone. I'm using the phone. And he wouldn't. And all he would really use the phone for was just to talk to somebody he has no business talking to. Ow! I am messing up my car. I am totally messing up my car. I apologize to my car. I'm gonna have to pay for it in damages. So, I guess I should explain damage meter a bit if you don't know. The damage meter, basically, it only really counts towards the prize money you get at the end of each race. If you took no damage at all for the race, then you get a bonus. Like, you essentially get a bonus. I think it's like a 10 or 20% bonus. But if you took damage, it will take off a portion to essentially repair your car, so to speak. Hey, don't damage the car further. But if you took max damage, like you emptied that gauge, your prize money will be minuscule. Like, it'll be like, alright, I got a car. Like, oh hey, I got a new car. So watch, it's gonna take off money because I took damage. So if I had max damage, I would probably get like 1,000. I would probably get like $1,000 for that. Which honestly is really bad. That's honestly really bad because it also, I believe, it has an effect on your parts. Has an effect on the parts that you have available. Oh God, jeez, I hate a lot of these courses because there's just so many turns. I was like, oh, I gotta slow down. Oh, okay, I gotta speed up. I gotta slow down. Oh, I gotta. Yeah, it honestly just wasn't a good time for me, and that was like in 2000. I want to say that was 2000. That was like 2002, 2003. Where I couldn't, where I was just. Then the reason I had to stay with me and my sister had to stay with my aunt was because my mom is in the military, and she got deployed. Cause you remember those? Yeah, you remember those years? I mean, some of you guys do, where essentially we essentially had like, what was it? War on Terror, like 9/11 and War on Terror and stuff like that. So yeah, I had to deal with that. And the funny thing is that people thought that since I came from Colorado Springs, they thought I was involved in that one huge event. That one huge event that I didn't even know happened. Like, people at that school, like people at the school I went to thought I was involved in that. I was like, no. I didn't even notice, like, I wasn't even around. Like, at the time that event happened, I wasn't even in Colorado. But I would say that if there was a place I wanted to live, or a place that I just liked staying at, I need to just start jumping over these turns because I'm tired of dealing with these other racers. Ow. Hey, I love living in Colorado Springs. Hey, I had no problems with that area. Well, maybe a few, but it was just, like, it was only with, like, certain people that lived there. Which, like, to be fair, I think you'll have, like, issues with people in wherever you live. But that place was honestly pretty great in comparison to what is essentially here, where I am now. And if I had the options and the means to, I would probably go back there. Probably. But considering the state of current events now, I probably wouldn't. I probably would avoid it because I've read a couple of news articles that happened there, and I just go like, holy crap, like, wow. Because apparently, like, the school I went to down in Colorado Springs was like, they had like a really huge fight to where Which, I mean, that's not too uncommon with any school, but they had like a really huge fight to where they had to lock down the school after, like, right as school ended. And cops had to show up and everything. And I'm like, but they already have security there. Like, they had to lock down the school, and then there was the community slash youth center next door to the school. And they had to lock that down, and then they had to apparently lock down a couple of other places that were nearby. I was like, dude, like, we haven't even... I was like, dude, like, the fight was that big? And that was because that school was like literally right in the midst of a neighborhood. It was like in the midst of a neighborhood and a bunch of other stores. Which I would say, oh man, I'm gonna take max damage. I would say if that was any other area. I would say if that was like any other area. Like, if that was like, well, the state of what goes on where I live now, we could not have that school here. That school would not be able to function here. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, like, wow. And then apparently, like, there's a lot of political stuff going on there where a lot of people are being treated unfairly. And I'm just going like, man, it kind of sucks. like that kind of sucks. Yeah, I'm gonna exit. I got another first place. And now you're gonna take away like a lot of that money for near max damage. Okay, I'm still good. This should be an easy one. All I have to do is like not. Usually when I play this game, I'm trying to think of another word for it. Like, I'm kind of like headstrong about not taking any damage during these races because I need the money. But I guess today I'm a little less about, like, I guess I care a little bit less about that now. Cause I'm like, well, I'm gonna take damage. See, like, these people just do not, like, the other racers just don't care. And thankfully they're less of a brick wall in this game than they are in, like, Gran Turismo. Because I can hit these guys and kind of push them off course. And they'll be like, oh crap. But like in Gran Turismo, if you hit those guys, it's like, they're not moving. Like, oh, did a bird just hit my windshield? I really like Gran Turismo as well. I just haven't played it in ages, and I thought of going back to it. Because, like, Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec is probably, from what I remember, like, a lot of people love Gran Turismo 3 over, like, all the future Gran Turismo games. I don't know about the ones now. Like, I haven't really heard anyone talk about the Gran Turismo games of today. Of, like, on the PS3 or PS4. And possibly what's to come on the PS5. I don't know, are they gonna do one for PS5? I mean, usually that's like a launch title. Usually that's like, or that's like an obvious, like, this is gonna come to this console type of game. Because it's one of the mainstays. Like Smash Brothers is for Nintendo, or a Mario game. I don't know what's common for Xbox though. What game is common for Xbox? Like, now that I'm thinking about it. And I need to be careful because my elbow is like right next to the eject button. And my Xbox is so old that if I hit the eject button now, my Xbox just turns off. Oh. It used to be that my Xbox would just never turn off, but now it's like, oh, if you hit the eject button, it's gonna turn off. It's not my favorite song. That's my favorite song in the. That's my favorite song in this game. I believe someone uploaded the OST to YouTube, and it's probably been either taken down or copyrighted. But yeah, like that's one of my favorite songs of this game. I forgot what it's called. Oh, hey, the 1000 TCR Berliner Corsa. I've never, like, these are so many cars I've never heard of. License test. And I need to change out my tires. Which means that my brakes and my suspension are probably going to come, well, my muffler is going to come next. And probably the suspension. Going to come next for, in terms of needing like an overhaul or update. But since I'm not driving that car, I can do the license test. Like, here's the thing I don't like about this game. So the license test is essentially a time trial, but you also have to drive correctly. Anytime you drive incorrectly, the gauge goes down, and if it goes to 0, you lose, which sucks. Oh, I think this is the track that I could not do. This is the track I couldn't do because I'm essentially driving a car I have no idea how to do. Like, it's not suited for this, to be perfectly honest. And usually, like, I'm sitting there trying to be cautious because I know if I hit a wall or something, not only do I lose time, but I lose meter. Like, I lose, like, meter on that license test. I also can't, like, really use my emergency brake. I think they marked me for using my emergency brake as well. Or not, it's like, I think it was like if I hold on the emergency brake and I just let go of the gas. Because I have no idea, like, where I should be, like, okay, I need to hit the brakes here, or I need to, like, accelerate here. Because I have no idea what this car can take, because, yeah, and I'm going to run out of time before I hit the finish line. So, no! This is one of the things I couldn't do. I hit a wall. And I ran out of time. I think that's the finish line there. Or that's it. Yeah, I have to. This is essentially where I got stuck. And I think in the original game, it's actually much higher. Like, this race is much higher. But this is where I got stuck on the license test. Because I have to pass the license test to make it to the next level. Which sucks. You can now buy this car. I can now buy this part. Oh, and that's one other thing. Never buy from a used part. Never buy it from a used parts shop. Never. Like, never buy from the used parts shop because these parts will break. These parts always will break. They'll be like, oh, hey, we got this. Hey, we have this, and then it's like, you get into a race, and like you just get like this huge notification that your car essentially is broken. It's like, hey, your car, like, so I can give this the step 3 weight reduction. I do need to overhaul. So first I'm going to overhaul this engine. The brakes and the suspension are going to come next. This is the custom. I can't afford that yet. Tires. Can't afford the tires yet. So let me buy some more. Yeah. So essentially, like, once you get closed mission and high gear kit, I believe that's for like, do you want your car for, like, it also, like, it makes your car available for certain races because of the transmission, right? Yeah, that's the one race I cannot do. Well, that's the one thing I cannot do in this game is that license test, because I have to use a car that I'm not used to driving whatsoever. And I believe after every race, like, the prizes change. Like, you get the special, like, your special prize can change, and you'll get a different car. Like here, for the battle of the 80s, I can get these 2 cars, but I need an 80s car. And same thing for the 90s. And the same thing for the hot one and this one. And which I don't think I have a 90s car. Alright, or one that's registered for 90s. Let me look in my garage and see what I have. Supercar event. That can go in the Wyoming road race. I keep saying waste. This can go in the battle of the 70s. The Chevelle. Yeah, I don't have a car that goes for the other races yet, so I need to focus on buying a new car for that. Oh yeah, you put your car up for sale, and then, like, you'll see it, and eventually somebody will buy it. Like, somebody buys it. But I never understood, like, how to tune my vehicles. LSD, not the drug. Forgot what that stood for though. And if I do this, but it will also cause my car, like, greater wear on my engine, which might be good. It's a good thing and a bad thing. I did kind of tune something, didn't I? So this is kind of neat. I mean, like, you get to see your car in your garage at, like, during the daytime and nighttime. So yeah, this is Sega GT 2002. Well, Sega GT Online, I should say. Which, the main thing is that you could play this on Xbox Live. I think this works on the Xbox 360. But then I won't be able to have my save file. So, yeah. Anyway, that's this game. I thought I'd show it off and just talk about random stuff. I am Brad Reed, the Gaming Roll. See you guys later.